14 months each to be complete in 2020. So I don't know why they have that crazy number for next year when they're not changing the amount of rooms for the dorm renovations. Hospital expansion, so I kind of touched on this last year, but the Education Resource Center, if you pull into the main entrance of the hospital, it's right there on the left-hand side. It's going to be a grad student medical patient education building, as well as the new imaging center and an outpatient pharmacy. So not much has changed from last year. It's only 4% complete at this point. I also talked about the Wise Library last year, which is going to be kind of the focal point on campus. It's going to be a 24-hour center, and it's going to have, it's just a larger, up-to-date library for the students on campus. And then the biggest thing is going to be the hospital expansion. So this is going to be the view of the new hospital. Yeah, it's also going to cost a lot of money. So it's $322 to $394 million to complete. It's going to be built in 3 phases and be complete by 2020. There's going to be a 6-story inpatient ER. The ER is now going to expand to the old helipad that they're not using. It's going to have more inpatient beds, a larger ER, bigger operating rooms, and I talked to some people at the hospital, and they said that it's definitely going to create more jobs. They just don't know how many at this time.
They definitely need a bigger ER.
Yeah, and more parking too.
Yeah,
Get people out of the hallways.
So this is the rotunda. I touched on this last year, but Bree and I went down to check it out, and we're doing
Is
some
that
cartwheels. So
I'm not surprised.
they said it was supposed to be done at the end of July, but they're still, it's 94% complete at this point. So this is the biggest renovation that they've done since 1976, which at that time cost $2.3 million. This time around cost $50 million. They're updating.
They needed that slush fund for that, I guess.
Yeah, that's probably why they're gonna up the tuition next year for all the renovations. So in 1898 there was a huge fire that destroyed the rotunda, and then it destroyed most of it. The columns and the brick were basically all that were left. So while they were doing this renovation, they found cool artifacts linking to the past. So the top left corner is signatures of original craftsmen, and then the column down below has some initials. And they thought that really they wouldn't find any remnants from the fire, but they found some nails, some pieces of glass, some charcoal down in the basement. And then the little brick picture is an old chemical hearth that they found behind a wall in one of the oval rooms. It was part of one of the original chemistry labs, so it's now going to be part of the tours when they take it. And then the whole point of this construction overall is just to use the rotunda to how it used to be. So more classrooms, and they just did subtle changes because they wanted to keep it, the character that it's always had, but make it a more useful building for UVA grounds. And now I will pass it on to Mallory for looking forward to next year.
All right, so I'm just going to touch on a few things that we're going to have new for next year. The first one is the Black Sheep Guerrilla Marketing. So this is a new company for Charlottesville. They actually are at over 50 different universities nationwide, and they have a website that's like kind of funny, snarky things written by students, which we're not going to be advertising on that. We're actually going to be using them for their guerrilla marketing, which is basically they're going to be out getting the word out about MSC for us. So we're going to be having them do dorm storms, which is basically they will take flyers and put it under the doors at all the dorms for us, so they have access that we don't have, so that we can get the word out when we kick off leasing to all the first years, and still keep our office fully staffed. We don't have to have people out and about doing that. We actually can have somebody else do it, and they're going to have more access than we would have anyway. And then the other thing that we're going to be using them for, they have street teams. So they'll hand out promotional items, they'll hand out flyers, they'll be our presence on grounds while we're here in the office signing leases. So normally when we kick off leasing, we hand out bagels that have now leasing stickers on them, so we're gonna have them do that. So really, this is just a great opportunity for us to have more of a presence on grounds. Students have better access because they're all UVA students that work for this company. And like I said, it allows us to keep our staff here signing all those leases. So we're excited about trying them out this year, and we're gonna be the first property management company in Charlottesville to be using them.
Great.
The next thing is Prospect Connect. So this is just to give you a little preview of what Prospect Connect is going to be like. It's still in the works. We're still working on it. We're not going to probably have it ready for kickoff. We're not going to be signing our 4 bedrooms with Prospect Connect. It's just not going to be ready. But we are going to be implementing slowly and have it up and running, in the fall, so that we can get a lot of our communities that we do sign e-leases for, especially in the spring. We'll have it for that. So this just kind of gives you a little preview of how easy it's going to be to sign leases now. So the applicant will have already filled out their application on the Prospect Connect website. So they show up automatically in MRI. You click on them, and then all the information that they have put in the Prospect Connect application shows up in MRI already. So you don't have to manually input anything that they have already filled out. Their demographics are already in there, their income, all that kind of good stuff. So once they're in MRI, which you don't have to do anything about, it's basically the same lease signing process. They've selected their apartment, or if they're in the office, you maybe talk with them about it and you help them select it. The one manual change we're still going to have to do are the dates, just to make sure we keep our term lease dates correct. But other than that, you just go through the process as usual. Like I said, all their information is already in here, so the income comes over, so all the stuff that's going to allow us to run them through CoreLogic, if they need to be run through CoreLogic. And if they're students, we are still going to just base their approval on their student status. So you can just click Run Resident Screening, and it's going to automatically bring the results over into MRI. If we do have to do that, if not, we'll just manually click Approve like this if they're students. But then the big change is actually once you get to the next screen, you just click this little checkbox right here to send an e-lease, and then you get this new screen that pops up. Maybe. Yeah, so, and then you just assign each person as a resident, and then once you've done that, you are going to select whatever addenda that they need. You can check and uncheck any of these based on if they need a pet, if they need a contingency agreement, whatever. And then you just click Send Documents, and the MRI does the rest for you. It fills out all the fields that you need it to be filled out, and it's just going to make the process
a lot better?
faster. It's going to be a lot better because there's a lot less manual
And
work.
it sends it to them through DocuSign right from this process? That is very cool.
Yeah, it's going to be, once it's all the kinks are worked out, it's going to be awesome. I mean, it really is, and we've complained a lot about it. It's been a lot of setup, but once everything's up and running, it's going to be so much better than what we're doing now.
And for everybody to know, we just decided yesterday, September the 13th, we're going to have a training day for everybody here, property managers, marketing people, and the locations to be determined. But we're going to have an all-day training, half on Prospect Connect and half on term leases. And I know that you've probably already started your leasing season by then, but that's the training day. So
We kick off September 9th.
I'm wrong. September the 13th is Westgate. It's August the
30th.
30th.
Yeah,
Tuesday,
okay.
August the 30th. I'm
That's
sorry.
what I'm saying, just like, nobody's gonna
I
be
did
here.
that, so we'll be earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, September 13th, we're going to Westgate. Yeah, Tuesday, August 30th. So get your questions ready. Get them to Andrea, and she's working with Janet to get all the training ready for that day.
Including questions on term leases.
Yeah, term lease, half a day on term lease, half a day on Prospect Connect.
So your funky scenarios, make sure Andrea probably knows about them.
Andrea knows. I know all the funky things.
Yeah. Yes, she does.
You're the queen of fun.
That's what they say.
You owe it.
been an amazing 4 years. I think the team did a great job on their presentation, especially Bree.
Thank you,
And so, it is officially time. No, work. It's officially time for me to pass the torch.
Northwoods, as you guys know, she's going to be the assistant manager, and we're going to be ready to rock and roll come September 9th.
Well, I think I could say on behalf of the entire company, Mallory, you have been a superstar for management services, and Brian has big shoes to fill, because you have taken us further than we have been when you got here. You are so smart, and you've been wonderful, so thank you so much. Yeah.
And I'm organizing the party. What day did we say it was gonna be? The 26th?
26th.
I just don't
Oh
know
my
where yet.
gosh, we need to know that, but
I
it's
know.
important.
Don't we
I
need
know,
to
we just-
give Brownie a title now too?
So I'll send out an invite
Yeah,
early
well,
for the 26th.
What should we call
She's the
it?
official office now.
Gabber? Yeah.
Well, and also, Bree was promoted to leasing manager.
Yes.
With Jamie and Maggie, I mean,
It's a
awesome.
stellar team,
Awesome.
and so you're gonna rock it out next
The
year.
best of the
I have all the
best.
confidence.
There's a lot to learn.
Yes, you do.
You'll be teaching everybody else before long. I get the feeling.
She has a lot of things to bring, but still, it's
Yes.
a lot to learn.
Yes, it is.
And Samuel, is there anybody?
Oh, yes, we have some.
Samuel.
And all the old timers. Yay! We're still here. So thank you everybody, you did a fantastic job.
Excellent, excellent presentation.
And
Thank you.
we'll have this available on the R drive, or we can email the
I'd like
presentation
to
out.
copy, yeah.
Well, I'll email it to both
Yeah.
of you, and then we'll just put it up on the R drive.
Thank you all so much. Great job.
Thanks for coming.